Nakaano tayo. We are now on YouTube. Nakisama ang XSplit. Okay, just a few more stuff before we begin with the show properly. Let me just do a few more tweaks. What is up, everybody? We are with Leandro Reyes. We're gonna know more. Actually, this is a topic that I'm very curious. Kasi I've known about it for forever. Hindi naman forever. Pero pero kumbaga I never really had a chance to know more about it, ask about it. Wala akong masyadong kakilala. Yung isang kakilala ko, hindi ko masyado nakikita. So, mga ganun. So, tonight is my chance to make a deep dive on poetry. 'Di ba parang for me, mamaya natin tuloy. Ayusin lang natin to and then okay. Ano kasi maganda yung I'm just setting up the monitor for the YouTube stream. Okay, kasi minsan may nanonood dyan eh. Anyway, ano to? What's this? What the? Ano yan? Bakit may ganyan? Ano ito? Wow, bagong pakulo ng YouTube. Hindi ko alam to
Ano yan?
Basta may screen na Hala, ano yan? Hala ko. Gulo Huwag na nga. Bad trip. Basta nasa YouTube tayo. Anyway. Okay. So, let's go on with the show. Okay, this is the Powerful Comics Man podcast. And the podcast is available on here on Facebook and also YouTube. And now also on Kumu. And also the podcast is gonna be uploaded later on Spotify and basically every podcast platforms. Okay, so now follow, please like, share, and check out the library. This is the 119th episode. So may 118 pa kayong hindi napapakinggan at napapanood. If this is your first TPKP episode, and I interview very interesting people. I'm sure you know many of them if you check out the library, and we just talk about different things from some of the best people in what they do. Okay, so this podcast is brought to you by Miucha Lux Cakes. Okay, so teka. This check out at hello.miucha on Instagram and the Facebook. Basically, Miucha Lux Cakes. This is our little bakery online where you can order online. These are all vegan treats, vegan cakes, vegan donuts, cookies. You can even make a request because this is a bespoke company. Even wedding cakes, we have the best wedding cakes. And you need, kumbaga, hearing the word vegan, parang, kumbaga, basta if you haven't tried any vegan food, check this out. This is gonna change your perception about vegan food. Okay. You'll never know it until you tried it. So check it out. Mutual Lux Cakes at hello.mucha on Instagram and Facebook. That's at HELLO.MIUCCIA. Okay, Leandro, are you ready? Let's
Yes.
let's go to OBB and then we're gonna start. All right.
All right.
Okay, the powerful Leandro Reyes coming up in a bit. Woo. Welcome to the Powerful Comics Man Podcast. Woo! Alright, magandang gabi. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Facebook, YouTube, Kumu, and Spotify, the Philippines. Please share the stream, like, and join the conversation. Okay, tonight's guest, the powerful Leandro Reyes. What's up, Leandro? Yon!
Brother.
Kumusta naman?
Okay naman.
Okay, so
Kumu.
Leandro is one of the awesome people that I've met on this new platform that I've been hanging out on sa Kumu, 'di ba? And ano mo 'yun, kumbaga, of all places that I expect to meet awesome people, doon pa parang wow, totally unexpected yung Kumu para sa akin. Kasi ang daming ang daming, some people would have parang connotation na parang mga corny yung mga tao dyan, mga jejemon. Pero hindi eh. Actually, ang daming intellectual sa Kumu. Di ba? So,
Yes.
ayun. So, Leandro is a poet, writer, and spoken word artist. Okay, so this is the first time that I'm gonna be talking to one like this. So, okay, so Leandro, how is it? Paano ka? How are you gonna start a conversation about spoken word? Kasi noob talaga ako in this art.
Paano ba? Spoken word poetry is relatively new in the hindi siya relatively new in the Philippines. Matagal nang may spoken word dito sa atin. Panahon pa lang nina Vim Nadera, nina Kukitwason, Lord de Vera. Yan, matagal nang meron. Pero yung recognition ng spoken word sa bansa natin, parang nag-start ng 2015 eh, parang ganun.
2015. Okay.
Pero growing pa ang spoken word poetry sa Pilipinas at dahil nga doon, with other things that are still developing. Marami pa tayong misconceptions, marami pa tayong kailangang matutuhan. But we're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
Yeah, and I think it is relative to other performance art. Parang medyo mabilis yung medyo mabilis yung yung rise to popularity ng ng spoken word, 'di ba? And unlike, let's say, and kumbaga, not dissing yung mga sa stand-up comedy, parang feeling ko na anuhan nyo pa eh. Parang na overtakean nyo pa eh. Samantalang mas may nauna pa sila ng konti. Or maybe it's just me. Okay, that's just my perception. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, pero kumbaga, it's almost basta mabilis. Mabilis bang pangyayari, or would you disagree to that statement?
I think mabilis nga. Kasi nung nagso-start ako sa eksena, halos wala pang eksena. Parang alam mo yun, kayo-kayo lang yun nandun. Kung sino yung nasa performers list, sila rin yung audience, pare. It's parang, pupunta ka talaga doon kasi trip mo yung spoken word at gusto mong i-try yung sense of community, buong buo. Oo, kasi ganun siya. And yung rise to popularity ng spoken word masaya tayo dyan. Kasi syempre, nare-recognize ng schools yung spoken word. So, makita mo yung progress. Pero it comes with its, meron ding mga, dahil nga ganun kalakas yung gabilis yung rise to fame ng art form na yan dito sa atin. Ang dami ring kaakibat na misconceptions. Pinaka malaking example niyan ay kanina pa natin binabanggit, spoken word poetry.
Oo.
Pero kung saan tayo nakakarinig ng spoken poetry, kung saan tayo nakakarinig ng spoken words. Diba? Yun palang terminology. And it's, diba, parang before you even deep dive into it, how you call the art form is medyo meron ka ng sablay. And honestly kami, inisip namin, hindi, lilipas din yan. Ganyan lang talaga, maagang misconception. Pero honestly, 2016 pa namin to iniisip na bakit mahirap pa rin maintindihan na yung term na ginagamit natin to name the art form is inaccurate.
Why is it inaccurate? So, let me just parang clarify. The community, there's a thought in the community na parang hindi spoken word dapat ang tawag doon sa art form. Is that correct?
Hindi spoken words, hindi spoken poetry. So, kaya siya hindi spoken words. At ang tama, spoken word. In the same likeness that we don't call the written word, the written words. Gets ba?
Yeah.
So, kapag sinabi mong spoken words, technically, you're grammatically wrong. At kapag sinabi mo namang spoken poetry, you're out of context. Gets ba?
Yeah. Kasi malawak, hindi lang poetry ang pine-perform ng spoken word. Di ba? Parang ganun. Is that?
Oo, hindi. Tsaka parang ang iniisip nila, ang shortcut kasi ang iniisip siguro nila, kaya nagiging spoken poetry. Pero if you're gonna use it in a shorter form, siguro mas tama yung spoken word. Hindi spoken poetry. Hindi siya
hindi precise.
Yun. Hindi siya sobrang, hindi siya, I'm not losing sleep out of it. It's just, it's itchy. Kasi, yun yung, ang basic diba? Very basic.
Pero is the community in constant search of a more appropriate term to call it? Or teka, is it internationally known as spoken word? Kumbaga parang yun na yung saan nakuha yung spoken words? It's been around for parang I think una kong narinig ang spoken word was from siguro baka 2005, mga ganun. Or basta mid-2000s. Somebody told me about spoken word. Tapos, di ko na maalala kung ano yung exact na scenario. Pero dun, around that time. Tapos, alam ko, si Mike Unson, when he was here last time, meron na daw spoken word scene in the early 2000s. So, I'm also guessing na dun sa Club Dread dati, kasi may mga poets dun may mga writers night dun I think may mga nag-perform na rin na mga spoken word artist in the during the early 90s, as early as the early 90s kasi yun ang mga Club Dread mid
Oh.
90s, ganun I'm not sure kasi I haven't talked to the organizer. Alam ko sina Karen Kunawich yun pero meron dong eksena ng mga writers. And I'm just parang inaano ko, parang kumbaga putting two and two together na parang okay. So, malamang nag-spoken word sila doon. 'Di ba? Pero ngayon nagkaroon ng resurgence talaga in the 2010s. 'Di ba?
Yes, yes.
So, how did you discover?
2005.
Sige, sige.
2005, yung nabanggit mo,
Mhm.
parang yan yung yung prime mainstream exposure ni Lord De Vera. Tama ba? 2005. Parang, tama
Si
ba?
Lord de Vera ba?
Radioactive Sago.
Oo, radioactive sago. Oh yeah. Oo nga no. Spoken word nga
2005.
yun. Oo nga. Tapos may
Oo.
accompaniment na music. Yes. Oo nga.
Oo.
Oo nga.
Ang radioactive sago, spoken word yan. Kaya nagkaroon ng malaking buzz. Naalala ko pa yun high school ako nun yata o elementary.
Mhm.
Napanood ko yung mix interview na si Lord De Vera yung in-interview.
Mhm.
At tinanong ko siya kung anong art form itong pinapresent nyo or genre ba to, ganyan, ganyan.
Mhm.
At sabi niya, spoken word. Nung time na yun, parang naging interested na talaga ako agad kasi nung time na yun, wala hanggang ngayon naman, hindi ako kumakanta
Mhm.
Pero interested ako sa lyricism. So,
Mhm.
parang, pwede pala yun, no? So, hindi ka mag-rap,
Mhm.
hindi ka rin kakanta or hindi mo paglalaroan masyado yung pitch mo ng ganun kagrabe.
Mhm.
Pero elevated yung language, 'di ba?
Oo.
Parang yung solid yung mga tracks ng Radioactive Sago, 'di ba? Astro, Gusto Ko Ng Baboy.
Oo. Oo. It was
Malupit,
something that
malupit yung ganun.
it was something parang very fresh. When I first heard yung Ayoko ng Baboy, parang wow, ano to? Tapos jazzy yung 'di ba, na ska, na funk, yung tunog, 'di ba?
Solid.
Tapos nagsasalita lang. Sabi ko, okay to ah. Tapos basta magaling. Well, magaling naman kasi talaga yung mga musikerong napasama doon. Tapos the way yung boses pa ni Lord is kumbaga it's very distinct. Pag nagsalita si Lord sa diba, naglalakad ka sa SM, pag narinig mong nagsalita si Lord doon, narinig mo, alam mo si Lord yun. Teka, si Lord yun. Parang gano'n,
Oo
di
nga,
ba?
actually, no?
Oo. Parang si
Hero
Ray
ko yan
lang.
si Lord
Ito segue lang. One time si Ray Langit, nakasama ko sa isang dinner. Hindi ko siya, basta nandun siya sa room na yon dinner. Nagsasalita siya.
Mm-mm.
Ang surreal Putya, si Ray Langit, 'di ba? Boses niya talaga. Nandun. Anyway. So balik tayo sa kwento mo na how you discovered the art and yung paano ka nag-decide to get in and how you got in.
Um, well, nagsimula akong magsulat magmula bata ako
Mm-hmm.
Sa pamilya namin ah, yung may hilig sa literature or at least sa akin.
Mm-hmm.
Nahilig ako sa mga storybooks.
Mm-hmm.
Bata pa lang ako, mahilig na ako magbasa. So nahilig na ako magsulat.
Okay.
Tapos yung pressure sa mga Filipino teacher na alam mo naman 'di ba na nakwento na ba sa'yo ni Mike or nakwento ko na ba sa'yo na descendant ako ni Severino Reyes?
Oh, hindi pa.
Hindi pa ba?
Okay.
Hindi pa ba?
Hindi pa.
So,
Okay, I see.
So, lolo ko, si Lola Basyang.
I see.
So, nung elementary, syempre, tinuturo sa mga estudyante, mga kwento ni Lola Basyang.
Mm.
Oh, lolo ko yun So, parang,
Oh, kaya pala LR Basyang yung ano mo. Kala ko idol mo lang.
yes.
Yun pala, ano ka talaga? Kumbaga kumbaga nasa bloodline pala talaga
Direct
ni...
descendant ako
I
ni Lola Basyang.
see.
Actually, dati, hindi ko yan pinagsasabi kasi nga, since bata ako, may pressure na. Tapos nung ginagawa ko na tong pagtutula, nung una, hindi ko sinasabi. Kasi laki ng pressure
Mm-hmm.
Severino Reyes, di ba? Posibleng hindi ka ma-compare.
Mm-hmm.
Wishful thinking yung sana hindi ako ma-compare.
Oo.
Weird yun. Parang malabong mangyari.
Oo.
So,
Lalo na pag
nung una,
nalaman.
hindi ko sinasabi.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, kapag nalaman.
Mm-hmm.
At, yun, up until a point, nakakaala nung ilang friends ko, kinakahiya ko yung fact na yun.
Mm-hmm.
Pero hindi
Mm-hmm.
Pero naisip ko nga, in face value, parang ganun nga itsura, no? So I have to stop that because I really am proud of my heritage. I really am proud of my great-grandfather and his works. Okay. And so I started owning up to the pressure. So parang you can never go lukewarm So saktong pressure lang. So either wala or grabe.
Okay.
Parang ganun So sige, I'll take it in. I'll put the pressure on my shoulders. And let's go with it. So yun na, nag-start na ako magsulat ever since. Tapos nag-start akong mag-try ng spoken word performance sa Metro Manila ng pagpunta sa mga coffee shop tsaka mga bar na coffee shop talaga mga coffee shop na nag-host ng spoken word.
Okay.
Yun nga yung kwento. Yung late 2015 or 2016, medyo fuzzy na yung dates sa utak ko. Pero nung panahon na yun, pumunta ako mag-isa sa isang place sa Makati. Ang pangalan sa Tingka. Pumunta ako mag-isa kasi gusto ko i-try yung spoken word. Hintay ako ng hintay kasi wala akong kasama. Tapos yung mga kasama ko, last minute, hindi pwede, ganyan. Sabi ko, sige, bahala na. Punta ako doon mag-isa ko. Tapos, lahat ng tao, pagpasok ko doon, sobrang lit lang sa tingin ka parang pagpasok mo, hagdanan na agad yung bubungad sa'yo, konting table. Sakit ka sa parang mezzanine na 4 na table lang yung kasya. So, imposibleng hindi ka mag-share ng table. Kasi ang liit nga lang. Tapos, nung pagdating ko doon, yung feeling na walang strangers. Lahat ng tao, pwede mong kausapin ng alam mo yun, wholesome, na parang gusto ka talaga nila, friend ka talaga nila agad, gano'n. Tapos lahat talaga ng tao. Feeling ko, doon ako na in love sa spoken word. Kasi
may community.
Nag-gets ko, parang, man, this is my people.
Oh,
I found my people.
Wow.
Parang,
that's great for you. Kasi yung kung medyo introvert, yung ibang introvert, that would parang ayoko dito. Kinakausap ako. Di ba? may ibang tao na gano'n. Pero sakto para sa'yo. Di ba? Okay.
So ever since then, I ran with it. Hindi ko na tinigilan. Walang panahon na tumigil ako sa kaka-perform. Magmula 2015. 2016. Dire-diretso na yan. Tapos, improve lang na improve. Dati, ingat pa ako magtumula
How often is isang in a week do you get to perform?
It really depends on the month.
Okay.
Pag February,
Everyday. Oo nga, no?
intense pag
Oo, di
February.
ba? Lalo na yung first 2 weeks, no?
Oo. February, hindi na kami nila Maymay, hindi na kami gumagawa ng planong pang sarili
Mhm.
buong February.
Talaga? Oh.
Kasi
May is your
intense
partner,
yung February.
parang ano siya, parang partner in crime mo na ano sa mga gigs, di ba? Are
Si
you a
Maymay,
duo?
ka-group. Well, we're a group,
Okay.
Collaboratory PH.
Okay.
Tapos si Maymay and I are part of that group.
Mhm.
Si Maymay yung nabanggit ko in the context of February gigs kasi madalas kaming magkasama sa gigs ng February.
Mm.
Meron kasi kaming show na kaming dalawa, isang mahabang set.
Okay.
So, 45 minutes na curated na yung planado yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga pyesa. So, yun, every February yun, every year, since 2017. 2017 hanggang 2019.
Okay.
Dire-diretso yung February gigs namin.
Okay.
Actually, 2020 meron pa nga. Hindi ko na maalala.
Alright. So, talagang ah so from how, kasi alam ko ikaw yung founder ng Collaboratory PH di ba? Ikaw ba? Okay.
Ano yan eh? I guess, yes. Parang kasi sa akin,
Okay.
lahat ng unang members, founder.
Okay.
Kasi ako lang naman yung nag-share ng idea.
Mhm.
Collaboratory PH started off as an experiment, not as a
Mhm.
group na hindi siya kagaya ng ibang group na okay, gawa tayo group. Hindi siya ganun eh. Walang planong, or at least that wasn't the main goal of the project.
Mhm.
Yung project ay isang eksperimento na ano kayang mangyayari kapag nagsama-sama ka ng 8 artist from different art forms, walong artist, walong poet na
Mhm.
iba-iba yung style, iba-iba yung pinanggalingan lugar, iba-iba yung collective na pinanggalingan.
Mhm.
So, pagsasamahin mo sila sa isang bahay for 3 days, 4 times a month. So, quarterly.
Isang bahay.
At, oo. So, mag-rent out ng isang bahay, tapos, pagsama-samahin mo sila doon, pag-uusapan nila yung collaboration, kailangan natin aralin natin yung collaboration. What does it take to collaborate? Ano yung mga so aralin talaga natin, kasi nag-research talaga kami as a group. Inaral namin po ano yung mga method ng pag-collaborate ng spoken word. Ganyan. So, parang umabot pa sa point na documented yun eh. Parang may documentary na hindi natuloy.
Wow. Okay. Well, tuloy niyo pa rin. Hindi pa naman pwede na naka-record lang naman yun eh. Unless nabaha yung camera, no? pero ano siya. So,
Actually.
pero actually, yung tawag dito, sabi mo kanina, nag-rent kayo ng isang bahay. Tapos, kumbaga parang nagkita-kita kayo. So, kumbaga you were that serious. Buti nakaka-rent kayo ng 3 araw lang per week? O nag-rent kayo ng isang bahay
rental.
na... Wow!
Bahay.
Anong ginagawa nyo dun sa bahay? 'Di ba? Parang... Anong ginagawa?
Well, una sa lahat, planado yung bago yung first session, merong munang series ng meetings. Tapos ako, minute ko lahat yung initial 8 members. Minute ko yun lahat. Kasama ko nun si Kay Constantino. Isang mabuting kaibigan. Parang siya yung nag-udyok sa akin. Alam mo, maganda yung idea mo. Bakit di natin gawin? Parang gano'n. Parang ako, kwento ko lang yun. Parang. Tapos, yun, ginawa namin. Kinausap ko yung 8 tao. Tapos, kinausap namin yung 8 tao. Tapos, pinlano namin. Ito yung mga susubukan nating gawin. Kasi pare-parehas tayong walang alam sa collaborative poetry. Or I'm not sure. Maybe that's not a word. But sa pagko-collaborate ng poetry, wala tayong alam pare-parehas. We've never done it. But we want to do it. But we don't want to do it ng bara-bara. Yung tipong, sige, sabak tayo ng sabak, game. Try natin. Okay. Gusto naming aralin. We want to, kasi siguro rin, lahat kami, spoken word artists, lahat kami poets, we respect the art form very much. And gusto naming alamin kung ano yung susubukan naming i-accomplish bago namin i-try.
I
So,
see.
nakapag-rent naman kami. Ginagawa namin doon, nag-assign kami ng 2 tao at a time to present. To share what they... parang weird nga nung una. Parang, okay, ikaw yung... Parang ang assign sa akin nun, theatrical gestures and voice projection ng 2 taong magkasama. So, humingi pa ako ng advice sa mga mentors ko. Tapos, shinare ko sa group. So, yun yung ginagawa namin dun sa bahay na yun. Inaaral namin yung collaborative poetry at sinishare namin yung ideas namin sa isa't isa to further build chemistry.
Okay. Teka. You said pinag-aralan, you researched, 'di ba? So, sino yung mga may mga personalities ba kayo na tiningnan, na pinag-aralan? Who are the who and what are the people? What are the people, no? And events na ni-research nyo para to know more about the art.
Kami, readings, tsaka yung mga kanya-kanya naming mga mentor. I was mentored by John Joseph Toazon, screenwriter. Screenwriter, playwright talaga yung una kong mentor.
Okay.
So, yun yung pinanggagalingan ng art ko. Tapos kanya-kanya kaming kuha ng source of information. Tapos experiment talaga. If anything, what we found out is that ang pinaka-base ingredient ng collaboration ay pagbibuild ng chemistry. Bago lahat ng ibang bagay na alam mo, lahat ng ibang technique, lahat ng ibang knowledge, chemistry yung isa sa mga pinakamahalagang kailangan mong ma-establish. Kahit ano lang, yung pinaka-base, pinaka-minimum requirement ng chemistry lang. Parang gano'n.
Okay. Kumbaga kailangan magkaintindihan lang kayo. Parang gano'n. At least that's the beginning.
Parang gano'n. At least hindi nyo naman kailangan, you don't need to finish each other's sentences right away. You just have to know how to work with each other efficiently, I guess.
Pero okay yung kapag parang buti pwede yung 8 na members na yun, they can do that. Na parang you can rent a house and live there. That's quite a big house kung kasya kayo ng 8, 'di ba?
Nakapagrenta kami pare ng isang bahay sa Las Piñas, sa isang tagong bahay sa Las Piñas. Alam mo yung parang sasadyain mo talaga yung bahay.
Talaga?
3 floors. Tapos ang maganda dun sa bahay na yun, meron siyang home theater, makeshift home theater system. TV lang naman yung nasa harapan. Pero merong siguro business niya yung mga upuan ng eroplano. So may mga airplane seats na elevated. Parang may level 1, level 2, level 3. So parang may stage ka sa unahan.
Mhm.
Ang cute nga eh.
Talaga sakto. Saktong-sakto para sa inyo yun. So doon kayo, parang may
Oo.
mini amphitheater kayo doon. Pwede kayo
Actually,
mag-perform.
oo. Oo.
Wow.
Tapos doon na rin kami natutulog. Doon na
Wow.
rin
So
kami
that was
natutulog.
really made for you guys. 'Di ba?
I feel like, oo. Kasi,
May pangalan ba kayo sa lugar na to, sa headquarters nyo? I'm
hindi,
sure no.
well, hindi na namin yun pinupuntahan ngayon eh. Kasi,
Okay.
we don't feel the need to go back there anymore. Parang, okay na tayo sa phase na yan. We have to focus on other things. Tsaka naging
Okay.
collective kami. Naging group kami bigla eh.
Okay.
So may mga bago na kami members. But we still pay attention. We still pay value to retreats. Sa tingin namin, actually this year, meron dapat kaming retreat ulit after a long time.
Okay.
To create more collabs. After all, we're Collaboratory PH. So, we should have more collabs. We should have new material.
What is the goal of the group and the individual members dito sa Collaboratory PH?
The goal of the group is just, in its most basic sense, to collaborate.
Okay.
Pare-parehas kami ng paniniwala na meron kang ma-achieve sa art mo, sa artistry mo, na hindi mo ma-achieve mag-isa.
Okay.
Kailangan mo ng other person para matap yung something na yon na nasa loob mo. Na hindi mo abot mag-isa. Parang ganon. At marami na ako nakakulab over the years. Maraming bagay na, kaya ko pala yan isulat after kung may pag-collaborate with another person. So yun yung, I feel like yun yung goal namin as a group. So nag-focus kami sa spoken word eh. Tapos, nakipag-collaborate kami with other art forms. So, minsan namin kinailangan i-define yan eh. So, anong goal natin? Parang, okay, sige, game, define natin. To efficiently, to creatively collaborate with each other and collaborate spoken word with other art forms. So, na-try namin yung spoken word and dance, spoken word and music, paintings. Actually, yung first book ko, painting, oo. Astig yun. Si Camca Cervantes, in-invite niya kami to collab. Tatlo kaming members ng collaboratory na nandun, which na part din kami ng isa pang collective. Ginawa niya, naglagay siya ng iPod Shuffle, yung ganon, yung walang screen.
Okay.
Yung kiniklip, iPod Shuffle. Tapos mayroong headset dun sa likod nung easel stand. So yung painting niyang ganyan, pag tayo mo, sakto yung wire para isuot mo yung headset, may distance ka para makita ng malinaw yung painting.
Okay.
Habang tinitignan mo yung painting, papakinggan mo yung tula.
Wow!
Ang ganda nun.
Ang galing nun. May video ba kayo nun sa sa Facebook? Or kahit saan?
Wala. Hindi na video yun.
Wow, that is ang ganda nun Ang ganda ng idea na yun.
Ang lupit nun.
That is what's very fascinating about the spoken word. Kasi the first time that I saw you was on Mike Unson's stream. And siguro ang familiar lang ako with the spoken word performers is yung mga piyesa na tumutula. Kung may tula na bawa, kahit anong tula, tapos babanggitin niya, tapos meron siyang interpretation na may yung how you enunciate the words and yung mga feelings, mga ganyan. Pero nung yung ibang piyesa na pinerform mo kay Mike Unson, parang you add dimension eh. Merong ibang ano eh, na parang meron kang sabi di ko alam, nalimutan ko na eh, parang sabi nung anghel na ganyan, ikaw to, tapos ikaw, meron siyang ano eh, meron siyang added dimension, added layers na hindi mo mapupull off kung sinulat mo lang, 'di ba? Hindi mo parang that parang to me before, yung spoken word is just poems na binabasa, na parang binasa niya yung poem, tapos yun na, anong kakaiba doon, binasa niya lang, siguro magaling siyang mag-express, 'di ba? Pero pero yung pala meron pang, kumbaga basically the creativity that you can put onto it is endless. Ang dami mong pwedeng gawin kasi you can add elements of acting, you can add elements of basta mga layers nga ng mga ano pa ba? Parang minamindfuck mo pa nga minsan yung ano eh, yung tawa ko nga no, 'di ba? Parang may mga ganong ano eh, may mga ganong depende on how creative and how skilled the artist is in performing and ideating the piece, 'di ba?
Yes, yes. Yung, ano kasi, yung sinasabi mong kapag nagbasa ka ng tula, hindi yun, ano eh, ang tawag doon, poetry reading.
Oo nga,
Poetry
no?
reading yung mga ganong performances.
Okay. Oo nga, no?
Maraming poetry reading din na events. Dadala mo yung libro mo, yung collection mo, tapos babasa ka sa harapan. Yung spoken word kasi, ang pinaka-difference niya ay it's poetry that is made with the intention for it to be performed. So,
may difference nga, oo nga.
Oo. May clear difference ang poetry reading at performance poetry. Actually, hindi clear difference, pero may difference. So, yun nga, kasi bigyan lang natin ng konting example. Kunyari, example ng mga bagay na hindi mo madadala from page poetry na hindi mo madadala from spoken word poetry papuntang page. Na unique. Na unique sa spoken word. Kunyari, yung device na onomatopoeia. So, alam niyo naman yung onomatopoeia, di ba? Ano siya, figurative speech siya or literary device siya na nag-resemble ng sound. So, kapag sinabi natin bang, o kaya clang, o kaya gong, o kaya blam, yan, onomatopoeia yan, di ba? Pow, mga ganyan. So, sa spoken word, may volume kang pwedeng gamitin sa onomatopoeia mo. Meron kang tempo na pwedeng gamitin sa onomatopoeia mo. Bukod pa doon, yung cadence. Yung cadence mo sa reading, heavily dictated yan by your commas and dashes and colons, your punctuation marks, basically. Pero sa spoken word, hindi mo laging ipopause kapag lang may comma. Ipopause mo kapag yun yung feeling mong tamang time na mag-pause ka. Kasi kailangan mong i-emphasize yung pagkakarinig ng audience. Or pagkaka-perform mo. Yung mga ganitong bagay na kailangan mong i-ensure na tama yung pagkaka-calibrate mo sa mga bagay-bagay. At isa pang pinaka-importante, yung gestures ng performance. So, pag nagpa-perform ka on stage, syempre hindi ka lang tatayo na yung kamay mo nasa gilid lang or tayo ka lang sa isang square or whatever. Pwede rin naman yun. Basta sinasadya mong gawin. Pero yung pag nandun ka, yung 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 mga gestures mo, mahalaga na rin. Meron akong isang tula, ang pamagat umpisa gitna dulo, na never ko ma-perform sa radio ng maayos kasi heavily reliant siya sa gestures. Merong
Visuals.
visual cues
I see.
na kailangan mong makita para fully makuha mo yung or fully ma-digest mo yung potential, yung maximum potential ng tula. So, yun yung difference.
Oo nga, no? Grabe. I suppose dun sa mga, to those who are just listening, and parang, you would have a hard time understanding what you just said. Kasi, pero you will understand it instantly once you see a performance or a spoken word artist perform it. Di ba? Oo nga, tama yung tama siya, ganun nga yun. Di ba? It's it's really an art form. Yung bang, halimbawa, di ba, parang when you write an original piece of a poem that's intended to be performed, do you syempre parang meron sigurong may mga nagko-covers din siguro, 'di ba? Para tula ni to, this is may usap ba sa inyo yung ganon? Usap ba yung may mga gumagawa ba noon na parang
Yung covers?
kino-cover mo
may
yung
mga
ginawa nito.
meron. May mga nagko-cover din ng tula. Actually, may isang magandang event niya na ginawa ang Collaboratory. Pamagat ng event namin na yon ay Switch. So, ang mangyayari nun, kaming 8, i-cover namin yung mga tula ng isa't isa na yung mga tula that we are known for. Parang, yun yung, kapag binanggit mo yung pangalan na itong particular na poet na to, kunyari sinaya mong Maymay Cantillano, ito yung tula niya. Tapos, yun yung i-cover ko, kunyari, tapos isa-shuffle namin. Sobrang saya ng moment na yun kasi never mong mapaperform in the same likeness eh. At, well, hindi naman yun yung goal mo, di ba? Parang, kaya mo nga kinover eh. You want to perform it and apply your own identity and art towards the material. Kaya sobrang enjoy nung event na yun.
So that means that for you, parang yung mga poses na kailangan, hindi mo kailangang parang yung mismong, kumbaga parang yung how you directed your own performance, okay lang sa'yo na ibahin yung nung magko-cover, or would you prefer na parang do it the way you wanted it when you wrote it?
I think that's a subjective stand, no? Pero I think personally for me, I would rather have them apply their own style. Para I feel like mas magiging natural yun kasi kung gagawin nila exactly how I do it. Una, I feel like each poet's style is unique. That's really hard to imitate directly. If you imitate directly, it's not nearly as amazing as applying your own flavor into it. Parang ganun yung, at least for me, that's my preference. If you're gonna cover my work, do it in your own style.
Okay. Grabe, no? It's ngayon parang kasi I also write, and I like writing poems. Actually, I'm a comics man, 'di ba? So I've written comic books and comic strips and some I'm writing a graphic novel right now actually. And poems is I have this parang gusto ko na nag-o-open ng ng story using a poem, 'di ba? Tapos basta yun yung Teka, mahirap mag-isip ng example. Babasahin ko to. Hindi ko naka-ready eh. Pero basta ano siya, parang it sets a different mood dun sa dun sa dun sa pyesa, 'di ba? So, how do you write poems? What is a poem to you? And 'di ba parang I don't even know how to ask this question. 'Di ba parang 'di ba? So,
What is a poem to me?
oo, yun. Yun na lang siguro.
Uh, uh, sa mga workshops ko, ito yung lagi ko sinasabi. Poetry is emotional communication.
Emotional
Um,
communication. Okay.
Oo. At kung i-define ko yung poetry, to answer what is poetry to me.
Mhm.
Sa tingin ko kasi lahat ng tao na may relationship with poetry, may sariling definition kung ano yung poetry.
Mhm.
Um, at para sa akin, poetry is the translation of inaccuracy. Yun yung lagi kong sinasabi.
Translation of
Translation of
inaccuracy. Okay.
inaccuracy. To bring your emotion or your thoughts and emotions to an accurate form.
Mhm.
Bigyan natin ng mabilisang example para mas madaling makuha.
Mhm.
Kunyari, sinabi kong I love you.
Mhm.
Totoo yung I love you. Meron siyang uh, uh, straightforwardness at pawang katotohanan.
Mhm.
Pero accurate ba siya? Yun ba talaga yung iniisip ko at nararamdaman ko in that exact moment and that exact
Mhm.
state uh, of personhood? Yun ba yung
Mhm.
eksakto? Baka hindi eh. So,
Okay.
lagyan natin ng konting poetry. Sabihin
Mhm.
natin, I love you like the morning. And then, it veers toward a little bit of accuracy. Di ba?
Mhm.
Mas yun yung nafe-feel ko.
Mhm.
But it's still under the same truth.
Mhm.
Tapos you add a little bit more poetry and you say, you are the morning. Your touch reminds me of new beginnings and birdsong. Now, maybe that's really actually what I'm feeling. That's my exact thoughts. That's how I want to translate the inaccuracy that I'm feeling.
Mhm.
Um, but if you think about it, the I love you and you are the morning, your touch reminds me of warmth and new beginnings and birdsong is based on the same truth.
Mhm.
The difference is one is literal and one is rhetorical. One is factual and the other is poetic.
Mm.
So yun yung uh, yun yung para sa akin yung relationship ko with poetry. Pero yan, titingnan din natin sabi si Shakespeare nagsabi na poetry is when um, intense emotion find its words. Uh, yun yung yun yung sinasabi niya. So may intense emotion ka tapos kapag hindi kulang-kulang yung yung language na pagkakagamit mo ng language, baka hindi mo makuha yung eksaktong gusto mong sabihin or yung
Mhm.
gusto mong i-translate.
Mhm. Okay. So basically, poetry is yung mga gaps left by words, by
Bros.
precise words. Poetry can fill those up, 'di ba? Parang
Yes, yes,
it's
I
not
think
quite
so.
it's not quite the difference between the smile and the laugh, 'di ba? Parang poetry can cover that. Parang,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
smile, laugh, giggle, mga ganyan. 'Di ba? Kasi hindi mo alam eh what's in between a giggle and a smile. Parang
Oh. And if you think about that, that's poetic in by thought, 'di ba? Parang
mm,
what let's find out what's between a giggle and a laugh.
mm,
And y- ano yung thoughts mo around it? So kapag naubusan ka na ng words, mahirap, 'di ba? Duty of a poet is to never run out of words. So kung naubusan ka ng words at hindi mo yun, naiisip mo lang yun, nararamdaman mo lang yun, hindi mo siya malagay sa page or hindi mo maisulat, then you have to improve your technique, you have to improve your skill para maabot mo yung point na, naisip ko yun, ang ganda nun sa utak ko. Gusto ko maganda rin yun sa page. Or, gets ba, sa paper, maganda rin yun sa paper.
Do you visualize the words when you write? What kind of imagery runs in your head when you write poetry?
Very much. I try to maintain a certain kind of fascination. Yun yung sinasabi ko lagi sa mga nag-workshop sa akin na stay fascinated. Kasi the world has so much wonder to offer. Like, for a quick example, yun lang, an anatomical heart of a blue whale could fit a full-sized person inside standing up. That's beautiful in its sense. Or how blue whales need, yung mga blue whales kapag meron silang friend na nagsasuffer near the shore, sasamahan nila yun. Kaya minsan may mga nakikita tayong dalawa blue whale na nasa shore. Kasi they don't want their friend to suffer. Na ganun kalaking creature.
Wow.
And this is not poetry yet. It's just, the earth being amazing. So if you just have to look at it in a certain, you have to be able to perceive like a poet before you write like a poet. Pero syempre hindi naman ganun ka-grand lagi. So in practical terms, paano ba? Ito, nung isang araw lang nangyari sa akin.
Okay.
Pumunta ako sa Starbucks. So pagpunta ako sa Starbucks, may pila. Syempre, hindi pwedeng maraming tao sa loob ng Starbucks. Alam naman natin ngayon. So, may pilang mahaba. Ang haba ng pila sobra. Tapos, naka-face mask yung mga tao, naka-face shield yung mga tao. Tapos, pag tinignan mo yung pila, sa dulo ng pila, kung saan sila papunta, sa may pintuan, kung nasan yung logo ng Starbucks na kulay green, yung logo, nagfi-flicker. Nagfi-flicker na. Parang, yung image na yun sa utak ko, ang ganda.
Okay.
Ang ganda nung may sinasabi tong ilaw na to sa akin habang may mga taong nakapila tapos lahat sila naka-face shield, nakatingin sila sa cellphone nila habang naghihintay. There's a poem in here somewhere, and if I want to make it a poem, it's my duty to not run out of words to be able to translate that beauty. So, you just be very observant and study language. Ma-achieve mo yung poetry.
Oh. Well, that takes a special mind din, 'di ba? Kasi parang to most people, parang that flickering light would be just an annoyance, 'di ba? Parang ano ba naman dyan?
That's true.
'Di ba? Parang tapos pero the artist is yun yung sinasabi na duty ng artist, 'di ba? Parang I forget the quote, pero parang yun nga, to do what you just explained, 'di ba? And
yeah.
So do you think this comes with the training that you've had when, kasi yung you said you've been writing since you were a little boy, and so do you think how much is nurture, and how much would be talent, parang ganun, for those who are just starting?
The answer, I feel like my answer would be yes and no. Yes, in the sense na my training has a lot to do with it, for sure.
Of course.
But the 80% of it is my relationship with poetry. I have a personal relationship with poetry to a point that, sinasabi ko to kanina sa mga nakadaldalan ko sa Kumu.
Mhm.
Kilala sa mga nasa Kumu.
Oo.
Na siguro isa sa mga pinakamasayang perk
Mhm.
ng pagiging poet is that I am seldom, if not never, bored. Kasi sabi ni Billy Collins,
Mhm.
to a poet, there is no such thing as a distraction. Kasi everything can be poetry.
Mhm.
So, you're never, everything is so fascinating. Kunyari, may langgam na nagbubuhat ng isang langgam na patay. That's
Mhm.
fascinating.
Mhm.
Merong, di ba parang may spillage ng tubig sa kalsada habang mainit.
Mhm.
That's poetry.
It's irony, di
If
ba?
you try hard enough, you can find poetry in everything.
Mhm.
You just have to stay fascinated kasi you have to make the you have to make your peers and your friends and your fellow humans appreciate what you just appreciated.
Mhm. Why, di ba parang it's what fascinates me also is parang the kumbaga the spectrum of people, those who can I don't know if spectrum is the accurate word pa nga eh. Na parang the differences na lang, the kinds of people na parang who can make out parang profound thoughts on simple things like yun nga nagbubuhat ng langgam, 'di ba? Parang
Mm-hmm.
it's a I think it is a gift that some people or that people like you and well, I can consider myself as something like that as well. And parang to a regular person na parang who just sees things as they are. That's parang that's mind-boggling, 'di ba? Parang hindi nila maisip. Parang kang ano eh, parang kang ah, kasi yun yung mind of an artist na parang if I'm trying to explain this to ano eh parang to people kasi parang they ask me parang paano ba mag-drawing ganyan, bakit magaling ka mag-drawing, ako hindi ako magaling mag-drawing, di ba, sabi ko parang tapos parang parang you're trying to explain na bakit si Regine Velasquez magaling kumanta, di ba, parang hindi kapag parang it's just the way na the people think. I don't know. It's just kumbaga may mga ano eh, may mga times talaga na do you always think like this? How kumbaga frequently do you have these artistic thoughts?
Um, I feel like always.
Always
Parang,
talaga.
paano ba? Kasi,
Walang walang ano.
I don't think so. Kasi,
Mm.
and I think, I don't mean that in a sense that I can turn it off. Lagi ako nagsusulat. No. May
Mm.
mga araw, may mga linggo na hindi ako nakapagsulat. And I don't consider that as writer's block. But,
Mm.
um, it's, paano ba? Kunyari, isa kang photographer.
Mm.
Kapag naglalakad-lakad ka lang, regardless kung wala kang kamerang dala or wala ka namang balak mag-shoot,
Mhm.
naisip mo, uy, ang gandang photo nun kapag kinuhanan ko yun.
Oo nga no.
Di ba? Parang, or makikita mo yung batang naglalaro, uy, shit, sana dala ko yung camera ko.
Mm.
It's embedded in you in your mainframe once you learn it, or once you have an established relationship with the art form. It never leaves you. Parang ikaw ba, pag nakakita ka ng posibleng comic plotline, di ba? Parang
Mm.
isipin mo rin eh, tutulala ka saglit eh, di ba? Sabi nga nila kapag
Mm. Betting
nakakita
comics.
ka ng artist na nakatulala, nagtatrabaho yun.
Mm. Oo nga no.
Tatrabaho siya in that moment.
Oo. Most likely, actually. Oo nga. Let's go back to the ano, to the tawag dito, spoken word scene naman.
Sige, sige.
How is ano? how is the public perception of the art form and the scene in general? Is it kasi I'm thinking, I'm just guessing, some people might find it parang ang ano naman to, ang mga parang even elitist na mga gano'n, na parang ang ano nito
Yes.
parang uh, masyadong pa what's the
Mas
term?
smart.
Pa smart, mga ganyan, masyadong profound, hindi ko masakyan, mga gano'n. Ano yung mga ganong klaseng sa eksena nyo?
Um, Paano ba? Well, yung poetry, it's a creative use of language. Eh.
Mhm.
As much as film is a creative recording of a sequence of events in a story or a cinematography,
Mhm.
um, kailangan mo rin maging creative about it eh. Kasi kung magsasalita ka lang ng hindi matalinhaga at all,
Mhm.
I guess that makes sense too, but that's not poetry. Maybe that's a different art form.
Mm.
Um, Kasi diba, when you want to do poetry, sabi nga ni William Shakespeare, diba, kanina pa ba tayo makikinig?
Oo.
You have to, you have to find the exact words to express your exact emotion. So,
Mm.
kung estimate mo lang
Mm.
lahat, yung from start to finish, lahat yun estimated lang or yung speech mo o yung language mo hindi creative, masyadong straightforward at literal ng lahat ng bagay. Maybe that's for a different art form.
Mhm.
Maybe not poetry. Which is fine too. I mean, it's fine. It's all right if you want to do. Pero I think ang kailangan natin as a nation appreciating spoken word
Mhm.
is a little bit more effort into studying it.
Mhm.
Parang hindi ko naman sinasabing mag-MFA ka. Hindi ko naman sinasabing,
What's
'di ba?
MFA?
Parang uh, fine arts, master fine arts.
Okay, okay, okay.
So hindi ko naman sinabing mag kumuha ka ng art degree
Mhm.
or mag-workshop. I mean, read about it or read poetry.
No,
Yun lang naman eh. Yun lang naman parang
no need to be
gawin nating
academic, kumbaga.
yeah.
Mm.
But you know, learn the rules before you break them.
Yeah.
'Di ba sabi nga know it like an expert, break it like an artist.
Mm.
Um, so parang ganoon eh, kung nirespeto mo yung isang uh, art
Mhm.
or pag nirespeto mo yung isang something, you learn the ins and outs before you do.
Mhm.
Kunyari, basketball. Tara, basketball tayo. Tapos, pagpasok mo dun sa basketball court, hindi ka nagdi-dribble.
Mhm.
Tapos sasabihin mo, this is my way of
Oo nga.
basketball.
Oo.
Gets mo ba? So,
Oo.
disruptive siya sa
Mm.
pangkalahatan.
Mm.
'Di ba? Yung mag-dribble ka, pero yung paraan mo ng pagdi-dribble, make it yours.
Mm.
So much as ibang mag-dribble si Kyrie Irving kay Stephen Curry. 'Di ba?
Mm.
That's their own way of expressing dribbling.
Mm.
Pero yung mechanics, yung fundamentals nandun. Kailangan yung pagtalbog ng bola, kailangan hindi magtagal sa kamay. Yung mga ganong bagay, kailangan mong aralin. So,
Oo. That's a great analogy. I'm gonna use that. That's perfect. Perfect analogy for that idea. Oo nga, 'di ba? Oo nga. Kasi basketball, every Filipino can understand that, 'di ba? Parang
exactly.
follow the rules before you break it. That's a perfect way to explain that, I think, to Filipinos, especially. Uh, 'Di ba? Um, pero isang I think one of the great na nangyari sa spoken word poetry sa eksena is yung naging uso yung hugot. 'Di ba? Parang that everybody can relate to that, to the hugot. Everybody has experienced some sort of heartaches. A lot of people are going through it right now, and a lot of people have experienced it, and kumbaga knows the pain and the joy, 'di ba? Yung mga so and a lot of spoken word artists na una kong naging familiar ako is almost exclusively mga ano hugot genre eh. 'Di ba? So how did it affect what is your take on that?
That's relatively tricky.
Okay.
Kasi on the one side, it gives love poets or people who write predominantly about love the heavy disadvantage na hugot poet ka. Pero
Okay.
posibleng hindi. Posibleng nagsusulat ka tungkol sa masayang pag-ibig or sa I don't know, whatever else. Feeling ko manghuhula ako ng maraming beses
Okay.
Yung hugot kasi, diniscuss namin to sa isang episode ng podcast namin. Yung hugot kasi, yung hula ko, nanggaling siya sa may pinanghuhugutan yung sinasabi mo, di ba? Na kung dadalhin natin sa technical terms ng acting or screenwriting or theatrical jargons, ang hugot, ibig sabihin, hinuhugot mo yung bubog nung character. Yun yung bubog mo. Yun yung...
Bubog as in shattered glass? O bubog? Okay.
Kasi kapag in terms of character building or character development, in script writing or theater or whatever storytelling, yung merong tinatawag sa assessment na hindi malinaw yung bubog ng character mo or hindi malalim yung bubog ng character mo. Bakit siya walang sense kung anong nangyayari ngayon kasi yung nangyari in the first few phases hindi siya nagtatali. So anong bubog niya? Kunyari si Spider-Man, ang bubog niya
Uncle Ben.
Wala siyang direct parental figure, tapos tragedy all around. Tapos medyo hindi siya medyo wacky yung personality niya na happy-go-lucky. Kasi nga, nanggaling yun sa bubog niya or si Batman. Yung mga ganitong bagay. Ano yung bubog ng character mo? Kapag hinugot mo yung bubog na yon, ibig sabihin, pinagdadaanan mo lahat ng character layers na nangagaling doon sa character na yon. Now, in very, very simple terms, napunta siya in the context of love and bitterness. Yung bubog ay, kunyari, may third party. Yun yung bubog. So yung hugot mo ay linya na nagagaling doon sa bubog na yon. Na medyo may pun, na medyo may siguro minsan may metapora, pero na-associate siya exclusively sa ganong hugot. Whereas, mas marami namang klaseng hugot. So yung hugot culture na tinatawag ay express ng intense bitterness from a failed relationship.
Parang mainstream hugot yun, di ba? Or frustration, personal frustration. Kasi pwedeng hugot na hindi siya pinapansin, unrequited love, mga ganun, di ba?
Yes, exactly. And that's not wrong. Go for it. my only wish and prayer is that we 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 do it well. We do
Mm-hmm.
it poetically, or at least if we're gonna call it poetry, we acknowledge the fundamentals of poetry. Kasi hindi naman natin fina-follow yung rules ng poetry lagi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why the rules are there for us to break them.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not recognizing the rules, we're just, going with our own. We're
Mm-hmm.
being reckless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not artistic. That's just messy in a
Okay,
lack of a
yeah.
better term. 'Di ba? 'Di ba?
It's
Parang
bara-bara, di ba? Mm-hmm.
bara-bara. Parang gano'n.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, ang justification mo doon ay, basta, ah, ganito yung,
Style ko
ganito
yan eh.
yung
Di ba?
poetry ko eh. Oo,
Oo.
di ba? Parang kung sinasabi mo yun, parang siguro dapat ikaw yung nag-invento ng poetry. Gets ba?
Mm-hmm.
Parang siguro dapat ikaw
Mm-hmm.
yung founder ng
Mm-hmm.
poetry para
Yun nga, yung
para
basketball
masabi mo yun.
analogy, di ba?
Exactly.
Na ayaw mo
Oo, di ba?
mag-dribble. Bakit ba? Pag ganito ako maglaro, hindi ako nagdi-dribble eh. Di ba? Hindi
Laro
pwede
eh.
yun. Di ba?
Oo.
Oo.
Pero 'di ba parang yung lifting na violation, 'di ba? Yung lifting violation up until
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson. Ano yun? Parang challenge natin yung Allen Iverson dribble na masyadong matagal sa kamay niya.
Mm-hmm.
Pero technically, hindi pupunta yung kamay niya sa ilalim ng bola. So technically, it's not lifting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a manipulation of inertia and gravity na nandun
Oo.
papunta doon yung gets ba? Papunta pa doon yung kamay ko eh. So
Mm-hmm.
you can say, I guess we can look at it as Allen Iverson breaking the rule without bastardizing the rule.
Mm, yeah,
Gets ba?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Crab
from
dribble.
that,
LeBron James.
ang daming, di ba? Ang daming naging
Oh.
ang daming naging variations out of it, di ba? Nagkaroon ng Tony Parker dribble, pero, di ba, from that breaking the rule, I'm pretty sure na si Allen Iverson studied the game very well before he attempted that dribble.
Mm. Oh. Huh.
So, ganun din sa poetry.
So do you think yung mga is it kumbaga parang our spoken word artist parang wary na ma-brand as hugot poet? Para ayaw ko ma-brand na ganun. May ganun ba? O ano man?
Feeling ko hindi na. Feeling ko if you're confident enough with your craft, if you know yourself well, at the end of the day, what I know it's not a sexy thought. It's rather cliche. Pero at the end of the day, if you know your craft, if you know you're respecting the art form with your entire integrity, you're invincible. Kahit ano pang sabihin nila sa'yo. Ako, I've received a lot of hate in the past 5 years.
A lot of what?
A lot of hate.
Oh, wow. Talaga? What kind?
Yeah, parang may mga ito si Leandro, ano to eh. Patawa lang yung ano niya eh, yung poetry niya eh. Or ano ba, parang ito wala tong pinaglalaban eh. Walang pinaglalabang tong taong to eh. Yung mga tula niya tungkol sa shower, tungkol sa mga ganitong bagay. It doesn't get to me that much. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it doesn't get to me at all. But I guess it doesn't get to me enough for me to lose sleep about it. Kasi I know that I'm fully aware that I respect the artwork very much with my entire life. I respect poetry very much. To a point that I can make poetry truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
Na kesyo walang pinaglalaban yung tula kong specific. Kunyari, itong tula ko na to, it speaks about the shower. It's my
Anong
tribute
klaseng
to the shower.
paglalaban ba ang gusto nila? Parang politika, mga ganun? O gusto nila parang they want you to join a cause na parang ganito. I see.
Parang
Okay.
ganun, pare.
I see.
Tapos meron din akong face kasi merong face na puro love poetry naman yung sinusulat ko. But that was a challenge to myself kasi for a long time, hindi ko kaya eh. Tapos up until, parang sinukuhan ko na lang, sige. Siguro hindi talaga para sa akin yung love poetry.
Talaga? Okay.
Umabot ako sa point na yun eh. Tapos, up until, meron akong narinig na isang performer, sinabi niya, very condescendingly, sabi niya, hindi ako sumusulat ng love poetry. Hindi kasi ako ganun. Hindi ako kasi ganyan. As if, at sinasabi niya yan, as if it's something super simple and easy to make love poetry. Tapos para sa akin, sobrang hirap. Hindi mo alam kung gaano kahirap para sa ibang tao magsulat ng love poetry. And when done, when attempted properly, it's not as simple as you think. Kasi,
yes, it is. It's not.
Diba? It's not at all. People have been writing about love for as early as people can write. Diba? So, malamang
it's hard to create
konti na lang yung bago.
Exactly. To create a unique poem about love. Meron nga parang variations na lang ng First Corinthians 13, di ba? Di ba? Meron akong klase nung basta siguro may mga ilang gawa daw nila na poem na siya. Lang to, love is kind. Di ba? Ganun. Di ba? So parang, and even in songs, kasi parang, kasi sa dami ng nagsusulat, sa dami ng mga kumakanta, parang you would think nasabi na lahat, na isulat na lahat. Although I believe hindi pa, pero kasi it depends on kumbaga,
on the times that we're living in.
Oo. And
for sure.
And sa mga it's also the way you say it, the way you sing it, 'di ba? Parang halimbawa yung kahit yung isang simpleng line, halimbawa I love you, tapos sinabi mo, the way you sing it, the way you say it when you perform sa sa spoken word nga, say there's many ways that you can say it and have a different meaning, 'di ba? So
exactly.
So ganun, yun yung mga pwede na.
Yung time na yun, parang na-challenge ako. Sabi ko, hindi, alam mo, susubukan kong pipilitin ko yung sarili ko na matutuhan. It became a personal mission. Kasi nga, going back, I have a personal relationship with poetry. And it became a personal mission to learn how to write about love. Poetically,
lalo na in Tagalog, di ba?
Oo.
Kaya actually, if I may just say this, parang kaya bilib na bilib ako kay Ogie Alcacid kasi I write songs din. So pag yung mga nandito ako, mayroon akong nais malaman. Tapos siya ang simple lang pero may poetry din, and yung pagkakalapat niya dun sa song, dun sa melody is it's an iconic line, 'di ba? May mga meme pa nga nun, melon, talong, mais, gulaman. Pag nakita mo 'yon, yung mga pictures na yun, alam mong yun yung kanta na yun 'di ba? So that's how 'di ba? Ganun katindi yung linya na yun, 'di ba? Kahit no matter whether you like the song or not, pero he wrote something special with that song. 'Di ba? And it's at saka ang dami niyang mga kanta na mga, and for me kasi ewan ko kung ganito ka rin, pero ang first language ko sa pagsasalita is Tagalog, Filipino, 'di ba? Pero yung sometimes hindi ko na alam kung if my first language when I'm writing is Filipino or Tagalog eh. Kasi when I want to express more complicated thoughts, napapa-English ako eh. 'Di ba parang mas madaling i-express for me. And para ganun, so hindi ko alam kung kumbaga mas mag-e-effort akong isulat in Tagalog yung isang complicated na na thought na yun.
Gets.
Diba?
And that's why we study language. Alam mo, isa
Mm.
sa mga pinaka-paborito kong makata, ang pangalan niya si Ralph Fonte.
Okay.
Kagrupo din namin siya sa Collaboratory. Siya naman, predominantly, Tagalog yung mga pyesa niya. At yung husay niya sa paggamit ng Tagalog, kitang-kita, rinig na rinig. Kasi isang beses nagtanungan kami bakit kami tumutula. Sabi niya, ang ganda kasi ng tunog ng Tagalog. Sabi niya. Yung musicality, ang ganda. So, makita mo siya, si Ralph, meron siyang diksionaryong UP, Filipino dictionary, na sobrang kapal. Sobrang kapal. UP dictionary. Sa trunk niya. Laging nandun. Tapos kapag may lakad siya, dala niya yun.
Okay.
So, inaaral niya talaga yung
Filipino.
language para to never run out of words. Kasi nga, it takes effort to create art. 'Di ba? If we respect painters, we don't splash paint into a canvas and call it masterpiece. We learn brushwork, we learn color theory. Ganun din sa poetry. We learn devices, we learn delivery. It's after all, it's an art form, 'di ba? Hindi I feel like it's not a unique poetry problem. It's also a problem for film and maybe song na, 'di ba? Hindi porket rhyme ka ng rhyme, maganda na yung rap mo.
Sabagay. Oo nga.
Parang gano'n. Something like that.
How about the reception of ng mga audiences typically? Eto may nagtanong ni Ringo, may mga umiiyak ba sa mga yun, mga gano'n. What is the typical crowd response? Especially for those who are just new to the art form.
Typical audience response? Since it's a emotional communication, as I've said earlier, emotional din yung response. So, depende sa emotion na pinoproject mo. Ako kasi personally, hindi ako naniniwala sa imagine your audience naked or imagine you're alone. Di yun, at least personally, on a personal level, hindi yun nag-apply sa akin kasi I feel like I need to bounce off my energy to the audience and the audience to me, to make it a communication. So since nga emotional communication, emotional din yung response. Kung ang tanong ay kung may umiiyak ba, meron. Lalo na kung nakaka-relate sila, I guess. Pero minsan nga, parang pag nakausap mo yung umiyak, parang, okay ka lang ba? Kamusta? Na-experience mo rin ba yun? Minsan hindi naman. Hindi naman nila na-experience. Hindi naman. Na-feel lang nila ng grabe.
Nakarelate lang.
Oo, di ba? Kasi nga, di ba, sabi, we don't have to die for us to fear death. So, yung communication na yun, it's human. It's natural. Oo.
Oo nga, no? So, Oo nga, no? That's an interesting para sa akin yun. Parang may iyak ka even though you didn't experience it. So, yung sinabi ko kanina na parang everybody kaya patok yung hugot kasi nakaka-relate kasi nakaramdam sila ng sakit. Not necessarily true, 'di ba? Na parang siguro it's just a universal thing na parang if you can trigger an emotion, especially the emotion of sadness, that's very powerful, no? And kasi sadness and caring eh. Kasi parang
Mm.
the the audience should feel either sorry for you or at least sympathize on how you feel and kumbaga make them feel how the character dun sa pyesa na nararamdaman nun. Huh.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It's
Exactly,
amazing.
exactly.
It's amazing. It's definitely I really found new respect to the art form and kumbaga I don't know if I'm if I'm gonna try that.
Try lang ng try.
Oo nga eh. Pero 'di ba parang
Mm.
how is it for those who are curious? Kanina merong
Mm.
nagsasabi na ano eh. Gusto ka daw niya maging mentor dito. Si Ses Share.
Mentor.
Oo. Hopefully maging mentor ka daw niya. Magseseryoso siya sa pagsusulat. Her name is I think she Ses Share. Tapos kung yung mga ganyan na parang interested uh, on doing the art, ano yung ano yung typical course from those who fail and those who succeed? What in what you have observed so far?
Um, First of all, it's uh it's a tough climb to
Mhm.
be able to be good at poetry. Kasi
How much of a head start do you
mahirap
need?
eh.
How much of a head start do
Uh
you need?
Honestly, you just need a drive. You just need to want it
Yeah, drive.
well enough. And I know that's pretty cliche, but again,
Mm.
um, even before that, you just have to
Mhm.
establish the relationship between you and poetry. Parang develop a photographer's eye. Yun muna, 'di ba? Bago matutunan kalikutan yung camera mo, yung settings ng camera mo, have a appreciation for photography first.
Mm.
Parang tumingin ka muna ng 1,000,000 photos. Ano yung magagandang photo, ano yung pangit na photo, ano yung magandang naturally parang ito yung mga natitipuhan kong type ng mga
Mm.
photos.
Yeah.
At ganoon din sa poetry. Magbasa ka ng sobrang daming tula. Consume it. Consume it like you're hungry for it because you might as well will be. Kasi
Is
again,
having a hero parang would that help na parang you have idol ko tong poet na to, may mga ganun ba?
I feel like it does.
Oo, 'di
It
ba?
does.
Nakaka-inspire kasi. Mm.
Ako, and it influences your art. It really, really influences
Mm.
your art. Ang kailangan mo lang i-watch out dyan ay mawalan ka ng sarili mong artistic identity at makopya mo yung
Hero
hero
niyo.
mo.
Oo.
Kaya expand your influences.
Yes.
Kanina napag-usapan natin si Lourdes de Vera.
Mm.
Nung nakita ko pare yung interview niya
Mm.
ng ng mix
Mm.
na ito spoken word to.
Mm.
Parang gusto ko 'yun. Gusto ko yung ginagawa ni Lourdes de Vera.
Mm.
Gusto ko yan gawin.
Mm.
Tapos in the other side of the fence, isa sa mga major influence ko, if not the biggest influence in my art, is Jason Mraz.
Wow, yeah. Oo nga, no? From a different
Oo.
discipline naman, pero ganun din yun eh. Tama.
Exactly. Kasi
Mm.
it's still wordplay. It's still a creative use of
Mm.
language.
Mm.
Um, so, itong mga taong to, they have a big impact in me as an artist, but also me as a person.
Mm.
Uh, nung nakasama ko sa gig si Lord de Vera, as in kami yung main feature, Leandro
Mm.
Reyes, Lord de Vera, sa isang poster,
Wow.
feeling ko okay na ako eh. Parang okay na.
Okay, that's it.
Relax na lang.
Oh, tapos mo yung pencil mo, 'di ba?
Ayos na, narating ko na
uh,
yung life goal ko.
uh,
Um, ang saya ng moment na yun. But then again, after nun, after mong ma-meet yung hero mo, alam mo, they say never meet your heroes, but I've met Lord.
mm.
And now I'm a bigger fan.
Mm.
Um, it's after mo, yun nga, sabi ko, diba, parang okay ka na. But
Mm.
then, after nun, you just want to strive to be more. You
Mm.
want to strive to be better. And nakaka-addict yung development kapag
Mm.
nandun ka na. Pag nandun ka
Mm.
na sa gitna ng climb,
Mm.
man, hindi ka na, hindi ka na titigil. You just want to learn more and be better at it. Especially if you have heroes. So I think it helps.
Mm.
So have your heroes influence your art. Diba?
Yeah. Speaking
For
of
sure.
Lord, no, speaking of Lord, ano, na he was a previous guest on this show then. So you can
Oh,
to those who
balita
are
mo nga
listening,
eh.
you can check it out. To those who are listening. And also, yun nang isang, now that you've mentioned this as well, ayun, I missed asking him about spoken word. 'Di ba? Kasi hindi ko in-associate
Talaga
si,
ba?
no, si Lord about dun sa spoken word, pagiging spoken word artist niya. Well, medyo sobrang casual yung conversation namin. Pero I can really relate to that kasi that's why I asked din kasi based on my experience, um may- I got into creating comics because especially comic strips kasi meron akong syempre nagbabasa ako ng comics nung bata ako, no. May yung mga inaarkilang comics pa sa probinsya. So every
Hmm.
day nakakabasa ako ng mga bago. Tapos kasi yung pinsan ko meron siyang tindahan tapos may nagpapaarkila siya ng comics. Madalas dumatambay ako doon, nakikibasa ako. So, I've read a lot of comics. Pero nung nabasa ko yung Pugad Baboy, hindi ko alam bakit natatawa ako. Natatawa talaga ako ng legit na natatawa ako. Kasi may mga comedy comics na alam kong nagpapatawa siya, I get entertained for sure. Pero
Aha.
nung talagang natatawa ako, natawa talaga ako eh. Bakit dito natatawa talaga ako dito sa Pugad Baboy. Doon sa iba parang naaliw lang ako. Magkaiba eh, may difference eh. So, I
Hmm.
studied it. Sabi, bakit nakakatawa to? Siguro mga grade 6 ako noon. So nakita ko may pattern. May pattern pala siya. Ganun pala. Oo nga no. Tapos well, the things that I realized, I wanted to apply it. Same thing as in podcasting. Kasi kumbaga when I like something enough, doon ako parang I want to try it myself. Diba? Parang gusto kong subukan to. Tapos kaya dati open mic din ako eh. Parang masaya yung stand-up comedy na yan. Sige nga,
Hmm.
attend ako ng open mic. Tapos, pero yung pinaka-significant talaga is creating comics. Because I saw Pugad Baboy for the first time. Yung talagang, yung libro na buo. Hindi yung sa comic strip sa dyaryo. Kasi parang, medyo bitin ka wag doon sa dyaryo.
Bitin, oh.
Oo, 'di ba? If you're not really following it every day. So yun yun yung story ko about that and eventually yun, parang that was kumbaga parang yun yung seed na nagsimula ng my lifelong parang journey as a student of art, of drawing, illustrations, comics, storytelling. And until now, syempre, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pag-aaral mo. you learn new things, you learn new techniques from new artists kahit yung mas bata pa sa'yo, 'di ba? Parang dahil mo lalo na ngayon, ang daming mga bagong technology, 'di ba?
Oo.
So
Exactly, di ba? It starts with fascination, and then when you're
mm,
in the middle, you never stop learning.
yeah.
Kasi never, the fascination, the thirst of fascination never gets quenched.
Yeah.
Nandyan lagi yan. Laging may bagong technology na lalabas. Laging may bagong style.
Mm.
Diba? Lagi may bagong artist na, uy, astig tong bagong artist na to. Expand na naman yung ano mo.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of technology naman, one thing that I noticed dun sa kasi napag-usapan namin ni Mike to last time. Nakita ko yung sa stand-up comedy kasi ngayong lockdown era. Syempre parang nagkakaroon ng online gigs dun sa sa
Oo.
Kumu, 'di ba? I don't think, sabi ko sa kanya, hindi masyadong nagta-translate well yung yung stand-up comedy on platforms like Kumu and online katulad nito. Kasi parang pero yung spoken word is parang quite translating quite well, na parang nakaharap ka na, ewan ko di ko, do you think would you agree to that? or, or or maybe yun lang ang napapanood ko pa.
Um, Actually, ang hirap pa rin talaga.
Okay.
Di ko alam kung hindi lang ako masanay-sanay o ayokong masanay kasi mas namimiss ko yung dati. Pero, is it, I mean, the question is, does it translate well, no? I think it does.
It does,
You know, to answer the question, I think it does translate well. Does it translate to its maximum potential? I don't think so.
Yeah, of
Um,
course, of course.
Ang layo. Unless, yung gusto mo talagang iparating sa spoken word, or your spoken word piece is meant to be shot in film. Iba naman yun, di ba? Di full potential na agad yun. Pero if it's meant to be performed, ang hirap talaga kapag walang personal audience, di ba? But I think it translates well enough.
Yeah, oo nga, no. Meron bang is it a thing yung mga, kasi sa comedy merong stand-up comedy specials na 1 hour, 2 hours, ganyan. Meron bang spoken word HBO special, parang ganun? Wala pa yata ako nakita.
Parang wala pa.
Wala pa,
Wala pa.
What is the
hindi ko alam.
what is the biggest stage right now for spoken word?
Globally?
Global, anywhere.
Globally, merong mga national poetry slam. Merong collegiate poetry slam, merong national poetry slam, tapos pupunta yan sa magko-compete na kayo sa Berlin, sa England, sa Europe, ganyan.
Wow.
Pero kasi sa atin, hindi tayo maka-qualify kasi wala tayong national poetry slam.
Wow. Next goal.
Medyo mababaw pa yung knowledge ko dito sa technicalities nito. Pero wala tayong qualifiers kumbaga.
Wala tayong de Vera, 'di ba?
Hindi ko alam.
Diba?
Pero parang gandang isipin, no? In the future, may qualifiers at collegiate.
But how hard could it be? 'Di ba parang gagawa ka lang, I don't know, I'm using the word lang, pero I really don't know how hard it is. Pero parang gagawa ka ng grupo, 'di ba? Tapos kami 'yon, 'di ba? Magpa-contest tayo paminsan dito, may regular schedule, 'di ba? Parang I think that's a very doable thing. I think we have.
Well, yung gano'n naman, nangyayari na yan. Nangyayari na yung mga slam every now and again here.
Slam talaga tawag, no? Slam talaga.
Slam.
Diba,
Ewan ko rin ba? Para siguro parang violente yung dating, no?
Oo nga, slam talaga no? Hindi man lang ano bang pwedeng mas hindi debate, hindi conference, di ba?
O, hindi conference eh. Slam.
Slam.
Marami ng slam every here and there, marami nang gumagawa. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, di ba, meron yung slam sa Kumu eh, nag-judge ako nung nakaraan.
Talaga?
Okay din eh. Pero the biggest stage, at least here in the Philippines right now, currently, is the Performatura Slam in CCP. CCP yan. So, syempre, CCP na. Diba?
Gotta catch one of those. Have you performed there?
Nag-perform ako sa first Performatura Slam. Awesome. At nag-finish ako sa finalist.
Wow!
Isa sa mga pinakamalaking achievement pa yan.
Who are the organizers? Are these people from the academe or who?
CCP. Pero I think, if I'm not mistaken, a big part of it was Vim Nadera contributed a lot to it. So I think yun, sila Vim, Lira. So yan, sila. Yun. Pero meron na rin naman, kasi speaking of Vim Nadera, nag-assemble siya ng team noong 2018 para pumunta ng Singapore for the Singapore Lit Up Asia. So conference yan, tapos may slam din doon. Ang conference niyan kasama Malaysia, Thailand, supposedly Thailand, kaya lang di sila sumipot. Malaysia, Singapore.
Di sumipot. Okay.
Di sumipot, man eh.
Chicken out.
Sabi mo, no?
Okay.
Sayang yun. Anyway.
Okay.
Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and supposedly Thailand. So yun, kasali tayo doon sa conference. Yung connections natin in terms of literature at least expands to there. Actually, may with a couple of other producers, meron dapat akong tour Singapore, Malaysia, 3 months, series of shows
for
before the
2020
pandemic
sana
happened. For 2020 sana. So, malaki naman yung stage, pero yung National Poetry Slam kasi, it starts with I think, I mean, I could be wrong. I think it starts with the college level, parang making it an official guild. Parang debate di ba? Parang pwede naman tayo magtayo ng debate dito eh. Debaters club tayo, gawa tayo eksena ng debate. Game tayo dyan. Pero, iba kapag sinabi mong, may debate yung Ateneo versus Lasal. Diba? Or, ito, representative to ng poetry ng Lasal. Ito, representative ng Ateneo, ganyan. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon sila ng qualifiers or ng tryouts man lang sa university na yon. Diba? And then, it becomes a big thing. And then, it becomes easier to organize. So, parang, okay, schools na yun eh. So, yung connections between schools, established naman na yan. And then it becomes a national thing. Kasi ganun yung nangyayari abroad. Sa college. Collegiate muna yung poetry slam bago yung regionals. Bago yung nationals. Tapos global na.
Talaga, no? Wow.
Oo.
Galing. And to think, who are sa local scene, who were the biggest movers at the beginning of this new parang renaissance ng spoken word sa Pilipinas?
What do you mean? Sorry. What do you mean?
Parang sino yung mga people behind it? Parang were these old mga dating mga poems, mga professors ba to, or is it really the new blood na curious lang talaga with the craft or what?
I think everybody has a hand in it. Nandiyan si na Sir Vim Nadera, yan nga si Coquitoazon. Si Lord de Vera is still very supportive of the art form. Um, so sila yung mga nauna. Si alam mo ba si Teddy Corpus ng
Itchy Worms? Ay,
Rocksteady?
hindi, Rocksteady. O nga, oh.
Spoken word artist din eh.
Talaga?
Oh, spoken word artist din sa Sanctum. Sanctum batch 1 siya. Sanctum batch 2 ako. Kinakwento lang sa akin ng mga friends ko sa Sanctum na nakasama si Teddy. Teddy, ano yan eh. Spoken word yan sa Sanctum dati. Ganyan. Alam namin may potential siya na malupit. So yun. So going back to the question, I feel like everybody has a hand in it in the sense na yung mga tao na nasa academe na mga nauna sa spoken word yan, sila Servim, they move the academe. Si Cookie Tuazon na host sa Jamie 8.3 has a little bit of move in the media. Si Lord de Vera, broadcasting, music, in the music industry. So, you know, parang walang singular or walang specific group of people that move it predominantly.
Wow. That's great. That's great. Wow, it's very exciting times for you because you're basically you already made a start, pero you're really building this scene, this culture that's new to a lot of Filipinos. How exciting is that for you?
It's kind of weird kasi a lot of people know that spoken word has been existent for forever.
Yeah.
Since forever.
Oh.
And kagaya nga ng diniscuss natin kanina, sila Servian, sila Lord, nauna na sila eh. They've been doing it even before we knew about it. So we acknowledge that. We acknowledge the things that they've done for the scene. Moving forward, it's exciting in the sense that schools are starting to notice that the private sector is starting to notice. So, pag nag-build ka ng events, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, nung una, kung sino yung audience, ibig sabihin, sila rin yung performers. Ngayon, pag nag-produce ka ng spoken word show, pwede ka na mag-promote. Diba? May mga audience na talagang tao. Hindi na kayo lang. Pwede ka na mag-ticket. May mga spoken word workshops na. Ang layo pa ng tatakbuhin ng spoken word sa Pilipinas. Pero I'm feeling optimistic about it. Kasi a lot of Filipinos are teachable. Hindi naman tayo, or at least the people na nakakahalubilo ko, hindi naman sila ma-pride na. Hindi, kagaya ng analogy natin. Hindi, ganito ako maglaro eh. Hindi naman sila ganoon. Kapag ina-offeran mo sila ng peace of your mind, they absorb, they accept, they listen.
Conducive sila sa, okay, ano sila. Okay. That's great. That's great. And also it also helps siguro na there's a lot of things that there's a lot of emotions na you can utilize sa spoken word art, 'di ba? Kasi kung stand-up comedy, parang ang goal mo is magpatawa, 'di ba? Medyo kumbaga parang ano 'yon compared to spoken word, pwedeng lahat ng emotions pwede mong pwede mong kalikutin pwede kang magalit, pwede kang matuwa, pwede kang malungkot, 'di ba? Pwede kang manghinayang. 'Di ba? What is your favorite emotion to to fiddle with, parang ganun part.
Ako,
Uh,
joy.
joy.
Um, I really like, I feel very challenged writing about um, happiness.
Mm.
Um, because I feel like it's very hard. But when you achieve it, it's very fulfilling. Um, and then I try to um, look for it even in my saddest poems. I insert joy. So, joy. Minsan, umabot nga sa point na minsan nilalagyan ko may face ako sa writing ko na lahat ng tula ko, kahit gaano pa yan seryoso, dapat may isang punchline. Kahit ako lang yung natatawa sa punchline na yan, dapat
Okay.
merong isa. Somewhere in there.
Mm-mm.
It's for fun. Yun.
Joy. So, joy, kasama na dyan yung optimism, mga ganyan.
Optimism. Yeah, oo. Also, finding the good stuff in, darkness.
Well,
Some of my
siguro,
favorite poems are about breakups na content yung mga tao sa breakup.
I see. Okay. Kaya siguro, yung mga nagkikriticize sa'yo, kasi yung iba gusto magalit eh, di ba? Parang anger is very potent, di ba? Parang it's a drug na nakaka-addict eh, especially if you get support. Hindi, sige, magalit ka. O, sige, tama yan. Magalit tayong lahat, di ba? Oo nga, kupal talaga yan eh, di ba? Pero it's very rare to find support for happiness, di ba? That is that is the one parang tragic thing about the parang ay, to parang
Ay, masaya.
masaya to 'di ba? Kumbaga parang ano bang achievement na maganda, nakabili ng bagong sasakyan, 'di ba? Parang pwedeng mainggit pa sa iyo, 'di ba? Salip naging masaya ka, 'di ba? Para dun sa tao. Gumraduate na anak nito, 'di ba po? Dati ganito lang yan eh. O kaya basta whatever happy thing or something that is right that's going on for a person, there will always be people who would like to parang alam mo yun, maging nega, 'di
Dig
ba?
through it, yeah.
Oh, pero
Pero
pero if you can kumbaga kung kaya mong lampasan yun na parang that is a challenge yun eh. Kasi for me, yung mga bawa, yung mga yung anger, yung sadness, hindi maybe not sadness. Mas madaling i-trigger yan eh. Kasi madaling o kaya yung pagiging sexy, 'di ba? Everybody know, kumbaga parang ka I don't know, I think it's easier. Maybe I'm wrong. Pero to elicit real happiness, pure happiness is I think mas mahirap 'yun. And yung optimism
I guess so. But again, I wouldn't know.
yeah. Subjective
Hindi
siguro,
ko
no?
rin alam. I feel like it's very, very subjective. Baka mahirap sa iba magalit.
Sa bagay.
Or I don't know, or whatever. Pero don't get me wrong, hindi lahat ng mga tula ko happy. May mga sumusulat din ako ng tragic, sumusulat din ako ng galit. Meron akong mga tulang sobrang aggressive na gigil. Pero kasi kaya yung pinag-usapan natin kaninang hate and negative criticism na walang basis. Hindi holistic yung judgment eh. Gets ba? Parang tumutula ka ng masaya. Ang saya mo siguro.
Kasi, di ba, yun yung mga toxic na, ewan ko, maybe, I don't know. So, hindi nila narinig yung ibang pyesa mo. Parang, meron. Na-tsempohan ka lang, yun ang ginawa mo.
Diba? They judge you for one side of your persona.
I see.
Doesn't make sense. So, parang, okay, sure. Judge me for that. Go ahead.
Great, great. That's awesome. Ayun. Okay, 2 hours na tayo, Leandro.
Oo
Ano,
nga, oo nga.
siguro meron na lang ako isang meron akong isang siguro for last song. Let's save the other conversations for future episodes ha.
Sige,
Okay.
sige, sige.
Pero
Oo.
kasi nabanggit mo kanina, I've been naisip ko ito yung huling tanong ko sa iyo. You mentioned that you are let's give tribute to your great 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 grandfather,
Great
uh,
grandfather.
which is Severino Reyes, better
Mm-hmm.
known as Lola Basyang. So, what are the things that you let's talk about him. Yun.
Mm.
Una, siguro isang tanong, bakit Lola Basyang yung napili niya? Babae, di ba?
Pinag-usapan namin yun sa pamilya eh.
Mm-hmm. Inabutan mo ba siya? Inabutan mo ba siya?
Hindi, hindi. Actually, yung lolo ko hindi ko
I
na
see.
inabutan.
Oh.
Yung lolo ko mismo hindi ko na inabutan. So,
Mm-hmm.
hindi na. Um, Pinag-usapan namin sa pamilya yan eh.
Mm-hmm.
Sa nanggaling yung lola ba siya.
Okay.
Ang mga nangungunang mga dahilan ay una, kapitbahay ni Severino Reyes, si Lola Basyang.
Oh.
Kapitbahay, may Lola Basyang talaga na tao at kapitbahay niya yun.
Oh.
At si Lola Basyang, every 3 p.m., ginagather up niya yung children sa household. Di ba dati nung panahon nila, paramihan ng anak eh. Yun yung laban eh, di ba? So yung mga bahay nun, ang daming mga bata at the time.
Pati kapitbahay malamang kasama na. Di ba?
Oo, di ba?
Oo.
Tapos every 3 p.m. daw, na upo daw si Lola Basyang sa rocking chair niya, magkukwento siya. Tapos may mga bata, excited sila na marinig yung kwento ni Lola Basyang. Yun yung pinaka-leading na bakit Lola Basyang ay lalaki siya.
Okay. So, based on what are the other things that you can share to us about your great granddad?
That he paid a lot of attention to his work. Ang dami niyang notebook. Ang dami.
Nabasa mo na ba? Do you have access to them or?
Hindi. A lot of it were destroyed.
What?
Santa Cruz, Manila kasi yan.
Oh my God. Nasunog ba?
Nabasa.
Holy shit.
Nabasa. Di ko alam kung baha o tulo ng kisame or whatever, pero hindi kasi naalagaan yung bahay eh. Hindi naging naalagaan yung bahay ni Severino Reyes.
Sakit nun.
Actually, alam mo ba, hindi national artist si Severino Reyes. Which is weird.
Are you lobbying for it? Are you guys, are there people lobbying
I
for
think it? Some of my I think we are. I haven't checked up on it for a long time, but last time I checked, there was a discussion for it in the family. But I wasn't really involved in it very much. For me to be sure. So I hope so. I mean, if in a few years hindi pa rin, I guess I'll start the discussion of lobbying for it.
Well, I'm gonna be rooting for that. I'm gonna help as much as I can. Kasi do you think it's how much of the younger audience still knows Lola Basyang? Do you think? Kasi nung 90s, may mga TV show pa na diba? Ngayon parang hindi na masyadong
everywhere dati.
Ngayon
Actually, it's heartbreaking na minsan mabot sa point na sino si Lola Basyang. May mga ganun na. Um, which is why I brought the obligation to myself. Alam mo yun? Parang, apo ako ni Lola Basyang. And then kung hindi mo kilala si Lola Basyang, and then maybe look it up. And you know. I guess that's my way of allowing the story to flow. The story of Severino Reyes. So dati, everywhere talaga eh, diba? I mean, if we keep on teaching it, it's
storybooks,
still gonna be known. No?
Diba? Meron mga
Storybooks, TV
comics.
shows, cartoons, comics, character references sa ibang mga palabas na minsan bigla na lang may Lola Basyang. Diba? Parang hindi naman mga kwento ni Lola Basyang to, pero may Lola Basyang na character. I remember the time that it was everywhere. But
well, maybe it's because
it's not more.
Well, maybe it's because one reason could be I don't know if a lot of people knows na na lalaki pala si Lola Basyang, 'di ba? Na parang yung na pen name niya pala 'yon, 'di ba? When you say Lola Basyang, everybody knows, at least in my generation, we know Lola Basyang, pero yung Severino Reyes, medyo parang hindi kasing popular ni Lola Basyang, at least to me before. Tapos tapos pag nakita mo yung image niya, babawa pag nakita mo si what's the name, yung musikera ng dahon, nalimutan ko, Levi Celerio. Alam mo yung itsura niya tumutugtog siya sa dahon, di ba? Pag sinabi mo si Ryan Cayabyab, alam mo kung ano yung itsura ni Ryan Cayabyab. Pero pag si Severino Reyes o Lola Basyang, alam mong ang may isip mo, matandang nasa rocking chair, di ba? Di ba? Yan yung, siguro, di ba? Parang, tapos, ay, lalaki pala si Lola Basyang, di ba? Pero I'm sure, it doesn't matter. Kasi the contributions are there and they're solid, 'di ba? So
For sure.
lakabihin it is kasi hindi naman, I don't think it's important. Well, I think it is important pala.
I think to a certain degree it is.
That we know our national artists, 'di ba? Para kasi those are references for us as a people of our culture, and the time capsule din yan eh, na how people thought back during their time, 'di ba? And how the greatness of our race, 'di ba?
Beyond 'di ba? Beyond ang mga kwento ni Lola Basyang, we have Walang Sugat sa Swelang Pilipino. So si Severino Reyes ang ama ng Sarsuelang Pilipino.
Wow.
Walang Sugat, diba? So, bukod pa sa Lola Basyang, may ganun pa siyang malaking
body of work.
At contribution to Philippine literature.
Wow. So, do you guys have any plans of republishing works or getting into other media? So, I don't know.
Ang goal, and I'm not sure if it answers the question, pero may isang malaking goal ngayon na nasa balikat ko with the support of my family ay ang pag-produce ng libro na ang mga kwento ng apo ni Lola Basyang.
Wow.
So, diba, it's a continuation of everything.
That's a great project, man.
Kasi ngayon, kumbaga dati kung gumagamit pa ng gasera sa mga storya, ngayon, pwede na natin lagay ng flashlight or ng ring light or whatever.
Kumu, no?
Kasi, kumu. Kasi apon na siya eh, di ba? So, ganon.
Wow, I'm gonna be looking forward to that, and alam mo yun, hihintayin ko yan, ng release na yan. That's a very exciting project, bro. And good luck with that. Oh. Oo nga, no?
Exciting.
I
Pero
never...
scary din, scary.
Oh, pero I'm sure you'll pull it off. You've pulled off a lot of monumental shit already in your young career. But I'm sure this is just, alam mo yun, magagawa mo yan. Yun! Maraming salamat,
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Leandro, sobrang ganda nitong episode na to. Sana lang may mga manood. That is my sana lang if you are listening to the podcast, to the show, please tell somebody. Please help us out. Spread the word, ipamahagi ang mabuting balita ng The Powerful Comics Man podcast at ng aking mga guests. People like Leandro needs to be heard, and sobrang ganda ng mga shinare niya, the artistry, the Filipino artist, yun ang, as an artist myself, that is yun ang mga talagang sinusuportahan ko, one of the reasons why I created this podcast, and also to promote mga discussions like this na different from the usual na mga, let's just say, ewan ko, mga sabaw na mga content na makikita nyo. Pero I'm sure, if you enjoyed this episode, please do share and tell someone. Yan!
Yes, please.
Do you have a last message for tonight, Leandro? Do you promote anything?
Yeah, please. A couple of promotions. And my last message is, I know that we've talked about poetry in a complicated light tonight, but I hope that doesn't discourage you.
Yes.
For all those who are listening, poetry is such a beautiful, beautiful art form, and it will change the way you see things. And its most basic form is for you to be fascinated with a lot of things, and it's not a uniquely poet thing, but to become a poet is a valid dream. It's a valid life goal. So if you want to do it, it's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth doing. That's my last message. And I want to promote a few things.
Yes, please do.
Well, I have 3 shows on Kumu. So if you want to check out my shows, that's Mondays at 10, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. Tapos, my book is out under Uwu Books. That's UWU. And Uwu Books is available on Shopee.
Oh,
So,
Uwu. UWU.
Uwu.
Okay.
UWU. Uwu Books. So,
Ang hirap na mabigkasin nun. Ba't yun naman napili nila? Uwu Books, di ba? Okay.
Uwu Books.
Nangingilam na
on,
naman ako eh.
Shopee. Teka, tama ba? Uwu Books yan. Para lang
Oo.
sure tayo. Uwu Books PH. They're on Instagram. Also, I'm trying to build my Instagram. I haven't paid a lot of attention to my Instagram over the years. And I'm trying now. I'm trying very hard. So if you want to read my work and read features, I'm on Instagram at LR Bashang. That's
LR Bashang. Yeah, written down.
Leandro Reyes.
Yeah.
Instagram. All right. Thank you so much, brother, for having me. I had so much fun.
Same here.
Miss mag-podcast.
It's my honor to host people like you, and I am grateful that you have accepted my invitation to speak to me tonight. All right. I'm sure madaming natuwa, and I hope we can do this again one of these days, and hopefully meet you in person and do it in person here in the studio. I'm sure that will be so much better than as good as it is already right now. Yeah. All right. Magandang gabi sa Pilipinas. The Powerful Comics Man podcast available on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and now on Kumu. Magandang gabi. Salamat. Good night. All right.
Good night.
Yan. Tagal.
Rock. Perfect nun.
Woo!